Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cap Gun Podcast. I am Cameron. I'm here with Justin today, and I'm here with three amazingly talented individuals who we'll get to who they are. We'll get to introducing them in a second from my end, but I want them to introduce themselves first. So please, which one of you would like to start?
I don't know which direction you're pointing, so I'm just gonna assume.
For me, you're pointing to a void, and I love it.
And for me, you're pointing to Justin, so this went well.
For me, I'm pointing to Logan, but I will introduce myself first.
Please, go right ahead, buddy.
Hi, I'm Jacob Wade. I'm one of the three co-founders of Blackwolves Productions, and I'm excited to be here. I'm an actor. I edit some of our videos. I do a lot. We'll get into that, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'll pass the torch to Logan.
I am Logan Riley Bruner. I am one of the three co-founders of Blackwolves Productions. I write, act, direct, edit. I wear a lot of hats. We'll, of course, talk about all of that. I did a movie with Cameron last summer, which is how this little podcast came about. And yeah, we're really excited to be sharing our art with you guys. Third Musketeer, if you can hear us.
Okay, I can hear you now, but for some reason it stops letting me hear you when I hit record on Photo Booth.
That's fun.
Really?
We love that.
Yeah.
Gotta love
Should I just record from my phone?
That works.
Yeah.
If you're listening from your AirPods, then that works 100%. All good.
Not only are we keeping this in, but it's gonna be in slow motion.
You want me to give you your cue in again, Jeremy?
Hold on. Hold on a second.
Only to find this for our viewers and listeners, everyone. Only the ones.
Phone
that
is
know exactly
recording,
everything.
and sure, give me that cue in. Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Van Suarez, the third Musketeer of Blackwolves and co-founder of Blackwolves Productions.
Dope. Yeah. So as Logan mentioned, I worked with Logan on House Sitters last summer. And the two of us became friends and people that love to work with each other. And ever since then, we've worked on things behind the scenes. And yeah, so I got to know about him and Blackwolves and everything that he's been doing on the side ever since they started. And especially because I do see some of those parallels, I thought this would be a great episode to bring in, especially for the month that we're going to be showing this in. So I first thing is, you guys also started at a young age. I want to hear about that, when you guys started in the industry first, and then we'll talk about Blackwolves specifically.
I think Jacob actually started earliest out of all of us in the industry.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I started at 8, and it wasn't the film industry, just for clarification. Just the performing industry, I suppose. When I was 8, I started professionally performing. My first job was at the Metropolitan Opera, of all places. And yeah, my first role was I played Maurice Child in Wozzeck, and I had a tiny solo at the end when all the children are circling around me and telling me that my mother is dead. Horrifying opera, but I had a lot of fun doing that. And then our first Blackwolves project came from a school project in, was it junior year of high school? I want to say senior year.
Yeah, but you're jumping a bunch of things.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeremy and I both have to start in the industry too.
We're going full chronological.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, Cameron did ask for both, so I was just
True.
one and then the other, and then I'll...
I want to first build up the characters, and then
We need a little
find the
development.
meeting point. Character development, and then we'll get to the end of the first act with
Then we get our little
Blackwolves
meet cute,
forming.
it'll be
With
nice.
our meeting, yes.
Logan, I see murdering me with the 3-act structure reference.
Oh, Cameron.
So that's my backstory in a nutshell. I continued to perform with the Metropolitan Opera and audition for things here and there, but that was my main professional experience focus.
It's super cool.
Yeah, passing it to Logan.
Yeah, I started performing when I was 10. I had this theater group formerly known as Rosie's Broadway Kids, now known as Rosie's Theater Kids. They came to my elementary school, and I wanted to perform. And so from then on, I joined a youth program called Tada, and I did that for a little while. I got into professional performing arts school for middle school, where I met Jacob, and I started working around the industry around 11, and then like really actually professionally around like 15, 16, doing off-Broadway and then film, eventually kind of moving into the industry. But yeah, that was my little track. Yeah.
Well, unlike these other two big shots, I've never really been around the theater industry, film industry too much. When I was 9, I started out in my school's choir, and then at the age of 10, I started going to dance school. After a couple years of doing that, I joined my my dance school's company. So we were going to competitions, we were winning awards. It was great. I went to a few summer programs on like audio engineering and stuff. But I always kept theater, film, close to my heart. They were always kind of a big influence on me as I was growing up. And when it came time to pick a high school, I chose Professional Performing Arts School, where I was a vocal major. And along the way, going to school plays and school musicals, along the way I met these two.
So you guys met each other so Logan, you and Jacob met each other in middle school, and then Jeremy, you came later in high school, or yeah. Did you
Precisely.
guys work on stuff together before Blackwolves, or was it really like?
I mean, there were like school assignments, but I don't feel like that counts.
Sure.
Jeremy and I, the first like project that like any of the three of us worked on, and it's one of the most random things in the world. Jeremy and I had an extra credit assignment that we had to do for a humanities class.
I don't understand why we always put this on our filmography, Logan.
Because it's important. It is the first time we worked on film together.
It's true, and it's before I even knew what a Blackwolves was.
It was before Blackwolves was even an idea. We created this like top 10 list for an extra credit assignment, and that was really the first time that I did like editing, and Jeremy and me worked on that. And then junior year is when the concept of Blackwolves even became a thing. It didn't officially start till senior year, but Jacob and I were working on a school play that I was assistant directing. And we came up with an idea for a web series, and we started workshopping that. And as we did, we really enjoyed working with each other and writing together and like acting out these scenes on our breaks. And we went to pitch it as like an idea before it was even really done to our the head of our drama program, Arian Moyad. Shout out Arian, who has been a supporter of us for years. And as Jacob and I arrived at that meeting, we realized we didn't have a name. We were just like Jacob and Logan, and we didn't like that, so we spent like 10 minutes in the hallway before the meeting started, like pitching names at each other. And yeah, that's how we began.
So Blackwolves though stuck. Like you could have changed it after that, but it stuck.
Well, wasn't it something else originally? Didn't?
Black Wolf, singular.
Originally, it was Black Wolf Productions.
Yeah. Do you remember why it was Black Wolf Productions, Jacob? Do you remember the thought?
I do. Why don't you tell them?
No.
Wait.
Yes, this is actually how this happened.
This is the first time I'm hearing this, honestly.
No.
And so we went, all right, Wolf, Wolverine. All right, we can stick to Wolf. That works. Black, because Jacob Black. Wolf Black. No, Black Wolf. All right. And so that's how the name came about.
I really hope that your other collective members hear this, because
I hope so too.
Because I've been following your interview series of you guys interviewing, and every time you ask the question, what does Blackwolves mean to you? And I hope that they now hear this and go, the reason it's called Blackwolves is because of Twilight and Wolverine.
Half because of Twilight. Thank you very
Half
much.
because of X-Men. Let's be clear.
And then why did you add the S at the end?
I think I was scrolling through IMDb or something and found that there was already a Black Wolf Productions. And I was like, well, darn, we don't want to get rid of this name. We really like it. And there's now a bunch of us, because it was at the point that we had brought Jeremy in, and we had brought a couple other of our friends in to collaborate with us over and over. And so we were like, well, we could just make it Black Wolves. That makes a little more sense. There's more of us. It's plural. Technically, we're not breaking copyright laws, so yeah, that's how the change came. And I'm glad that we ended up making the change. I do like Black Wolves more than I like Black Wolf.
For sure.
But the name is always going to have a special place in my heart, as it was the first thing that we came up with.
And so you guys did this. But the first show you guys did was this web series. Does that exist? Was it ever made?
We have rewritten it, recast it, redesigned it, restructured it more times than I can count.
Is it Spotlight?
No. This is a series.
Okay.
It's because Jacob and I were super into The Walking Dead at the time. It's a series called Lockdown. It is about tech students at a high school trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. And so I still love the idea, and it's really close to my heart.
Logan talked to me afterwards. I might want to partner on that. Just saying, it sounds like fun.
It feels like it's a little extra relevant right now.
Yeah.
Lockdown, yeah.
Yeah, Lockdown. We're still so excited to make it, but that was the first thing we wrote together. The first,
and that was before I was in the picture.
Yes, the first project that we did, all three of us, officially as Black Wolves, was a play called Reasons to Be Pretty, and we did that our senior year of high school. I directed it, Jeremy stage managed it, and Jacob was in it. And that was the first time that the three of us really worked together.
And that was also one of the first times, me and Logan had worked on a play the year before that. We had did Doxy's God, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead. But those two experiences were the first time where I got to have hands-on in theater. I'd never really been given the opportunity to act before. So I started out very behind the scenes, and it's thanks to Black Wolves, honestly.
Yeah. Well, as I've seen, you all are in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. You guys really do love to flip those roles. Talk about. I really want to know about your dynamic, when you guys sit down and work on something together, right? What is who? How do you guys decide who does what, for example?
Basically, it's it's everything's up for grabs, and we're all sitting around the table okay, so this is gonna have to get done, and we'll look at each other for a bit, and one of us will go, all right, I'll do that one.
Yeah, but I also feel we all kind of have roles almost. Logan's very logical about it all, right? He's we got to do this now. I can come up with the plan A through Z. We can do that. And me personally, I feel I'm very I'm the realist, where it's we'll have these big ideas pitched out, and then I'm just okay, how do we do this with the money that we currently have in our bank account? With the pandemic that's currently going on, with the car that we don't have, and Jacob, Jacob.
See, now you backed up in a corner. Now you can't.
Yeah,
now you gotta answer it.
Backed up in a corner like a wolf. You see how it works?
Oh.
I think Jacob. I don't want to say like Jacob's like the supporter because I feel like that doesn't have like as big of an impact, but like Jacob like really like fleshes out the ideas that like we all have, and like Jacob always adds something new to the equation as well. Like he can always find some new spice to add to the recipe. And I think together, it's like, we're a there's three of us, just like the government. We're a system of checks and balances.
We actually
I'm
work.
loving this. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not gonna comment on the current system of our government on this podcast, but I like that you guys actually work. But that's nice. So you guys do checks and balance each other out and stuff like that. Now,
There's definitely a sense of like we know what we're good at. Like
right.
Jacob and Jeremy are far better than me at anything musical, so like they take the lead on that. There's also a sense of just like understanding what projects we're working on and like who should take the lead on them, who should be kind of at the front of the pack. We just did a short film that I got us connected to, but Jacob ended up being the DP for, because I didn't think that I was the right DP for it, and I knew that Jacob was, so I ended up assisting him. It doesn't really matter who brings the project, it's really who is going to do the best work and make the best project. And so we've kind of found a nice balance between bouncing between each of us.
Now, individually, you guys, I guess, work, like, you guys do products that you, like, have on your own, like, ideas that you have on your own, then you come to the collective and do that. Like, is there a sense of, like, I'm always working with these three with you guys? Like, is it always, like, the first people that you call is each other?
Yeah.
I'd like to say so.
Yeah, I think for me personally, when it comes to like anything music related, I'm probably like gonna be in my own thing about, because I do have my own music on the side, Neon Burgundy. But definitely, if it's like literally anything else other than music, it's like I'm working with Blackwolves. Like we have the minds, we have the people, like we have a team. It feels so good to say that at this point, that it's like we have a team of people that we can just be like, who wants to be a part of this? And it's like up for grabs for anyone,
Sure. Now, speaking of that team, let's talk about them collective. How many members do you guys at right now?
I think we're between 14 and 16 right now.
Now that seems like a big group.
It's a bit of a flux because there are some people that are like really in, and some people that we've invited who have accepted who are like kind of at the outskirts. But that's only because we've added people over the past like year and a half. And with pandemic, there's things happening, and with graduating from college, there were things happening. And so it's hard to pin down a number. But yeah, it's around 14, 16 right now.
Nice. And how do you guys know them? Just through meeting people, or like how do you guys like know some of these people, and like what's the process with obtaining people?
That is the rule, and that is actually a rule that Jacob brought in when we decided to open up the collective, was that it doesn't matter if one of us has worked with them until they work on a Blackwolves project. With all three of us, they are not eligible to be added to the collective.
Okay.
Being
And
part
how
of
does
the-
like
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, go ahead. No, you first, because
I was gonna say, being part of the collective, you tell them, hey, if you need us, we're here for you, kind of thing, or do you ask them for like idea pitches, or is that only coming from you? What does it mean to be part of the collective?
It's a bit of both. We're constantly like reaching out to the collective for ideas of short form content, or even if they have ideas that they want to bring to us that we could further develop or like help make happen. Our whole thing is collaboration. We just love to collaborate with artists. And we also come up with ideas between the three of us, and we'll reach out to people who we think are good, who would be like good fits, and we try to work with them. Even people who aren't in the collective will say, oh, I want to work with this person, and I think that they would be good. Let's try to make something happen and see if they're interested. And then they'll work with the three of us, and perhaps we'll want to work with them more in tandem.
Sure.
But yeah,
We're working on a project right now that we're not allowed to announce yet because it's still a secret. Very exciting. But that is 9 collective members of the full group of 12. So we brought in 3 people outside the collective, and then the rest of everybody were collective members that we reached out to.
Now, are they most like? Do you look for a specific type of artists to work with? Like, do you only work with directors? Do you only work with actors, or is it just kind of like?
It's really a free for all, really. We pick people that we've worked with before, and that could span all the way back from high school, or someone we'll work with, tomorrow. Like, who knows? It's like, do the 3 of us vibe with them? Do they vibe with Blackwolves?
Sure.
like we have directors, we have stage managers, we have actors, we have DPs, writers, we have intimacy coordinator, we have so many different roles. We're looking for like graphic design and social media help, and we're constantly looking for different kinds of artists to work with.
So you guys are very well-rounded.
Yeah, and we also encouraged like if you don't have to be like in that one specific role. Like if you're an actor and you want to be on this project and you don't feel like acting but you still want to be a part of the project, then please like come on behind the camera, like hold the boom mic. Like it's like Jacob said, like it's all about like the collaboration, and it's very open-ended on like both ends. That it's like if you would like to work on this project, like name what you want to do, you could probably do it.
Yeah. If you have a song in your heart, hit me up and we can make a video and I can play guitar for you and we'll release it on Thursday.
So you guys do quick turnarounds or usually?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely we do quick turnarounds.
Our turnarounds are between like a day and, if we're lucky, 2 weeks. But that's just...
So you guys are really quick.
Yeah. With our social media content, not when it comes to like films or stuff. We definitely we take our time on our films. We give them the proper loving care that they require. But when it comes to like social media content, we definitely have a quick turnaround phase.
So you do separate between the two, for sure.
Exactly. The last short that we released took 2 years.
Sure.
But we also have videos up on our Instagram that took 2 hours. So.
And then the last web series that we did took 6 months. So like it's a balance between taking our time and making sure that something is in good shape, but not wanting to necessarily sit on something for longer than we have to.
Right.
It's important to know when we're done. The 3 of us are perfectionists when it comes to films. When it comes to some of our short form content, we're a little bit more lenient. We're a little bit more like, okay, this is in good shape. I think we can release this. This is a good display of what we're capable of. When it comes to like the web series, short films, anything like that, there are times that Jacob and I have sat editing like 1 frame of a cut and being like, do we want the frame with the frame, without the frame? With the frame, without the frame. Have the audio overlap, have it not overlap. Have it overlap, have it not overlap. Have the credit come in here, a second later. A second later. A second earlier. It gets a little ridiculous sometimes, but yeah, we are careful.
Yeah, but that's a good thing, no? That's you care about your projects, you care about, your content, and you are looking at that quality. You're not trying to just pump out stuff. Now let's say I'd be one of your collective members and I come to you, I'm like, I want to make a feature. Let's call it House Sitters the feature film, right? Because that's definitely not in development, right?
Right.
No, not at all. No. Do you guys do that stuff as well? Like, are you guys also working on longer form projects?
What's the pitch? What do you need? What do you see it being? How can we help? If we like the idea and we like the pitch, most of the time we'll say, great, take it, run, tell us what you need. If we're not really interested in it, we'll probably say, all right, go work on it, find some people that you want to work with. If you need assistance, hit us up. We're always here to help, but this isn't necessarily something that we feel like fits in our direction I don't think we've said no to anybody yet, though. Most of the time, even if it's something that, like, the three of us specifically aren't like, yeah, let's do this. If it's something that we're like, this could be fun, we'll normally just give it back to the creator and say, take it, come up with a couple ideas, pitch it to the rest of the collective to see if anyone else wants to work on it, and when it's in good shape, bring it back to us and we'll be happy to release it.
Now, talking about direction, are there specific like genres or content that you guys will either shy away from or you guys prefer, like, or is it just anything goes, whatever you're like, I like this, like, or is there like a specific like thing that you guys are trying to do, like set yourself up to be the comedy or the drama people, or
I
Right now.
think it's more yeah. Initially I think that we had more of like a darker vibe going on with Blackwolves, like just with the visuals and the type of things that we were like our original content, more long-term projects that we were working on. But as we've gone into the relaunch and have been producing more short-form content to keep that like traction online, I feel like it's been more about staying true to who the artist is that's being featured, and less about like really trying to go for specific genres, and more about artists staying true to who they are and doing what they want to do, and not necessarily trying to fit a mold, but showing what artists that we know are capable of as they are.
So yeah, I want to dive into this relaunch real quick because this will be coming out as we do our comparative similar thing that we're trying to revamp, and I feel like these past few years I think have been very similar for both of us. I mean, Logan and I have talked about this a lot on the side, like we're both, you guys are a little bit older than I am at least, but we've all come to that point where we're like, well, we've had fun making films in our backyards and hanging out with friends. But like, what was the purpose of why you made this big relaunch thing and why you did it when you did?
Jacob, you want to go?
You can go.
Oh, cool. For me, it was, I wanted us to stop being just that group, that thing that Logan, Jacob, and Jeremy did. I knew all through college that people kind of like had heard of Blackwolves and like knew a bit about us, but we released things so sporadically, and we kind of, the things that we were releasing I felt like could be better. We definitely spent a lot of time in college learning, and so the idea of the relaunch was like, we've taken all this time through college to grow and learn and set up a couple projects. So now let's start and like say that this is the official starting point of Blackwolves. Let's get a budget, let's get a website, let's get a logo, let's get everything in shape so that as we move forward, we seem more professional. And with that there were like 3 or 4 projects that we had either done or almost done, that we decided to hold on to until the relaunch. And we had multiple meetings where we had to be like, we love this particular project or this particular short or this particular video, but is it good enough to be a part of the relaunch? And there was one project that was actually really important to me that just ended up on the floor, that we were like, we love this project and we think it's so great, but the way that we executed it just wasn't as good as we could have. So let's tease it. Let's show people that we're interested in creating it. But when it comes to the relaunch, it's important that we show people the quality of work that we're capable of doing. And I feel like we've done that, at least to a certain extent thus far. There's definitely still stuff coming that we're super excited about. But I think just in the first 4 months of relaunching, the fact that we're still releasing 5-6 things a week is something that I'm proud of.
So in terms of this relaunch world, are you more focused in on, say, creating like an online presence, or are you do you see the group going more in the realm of like a festival world, or is it just like the New World social form content to really connect with the worlds?
As of now, it's been like New World social form.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially like to talk about New World, like we chose the best year to relaunch a production company in. So, yeah, it's adjusting with the times and trying our best to meet like every to check every box that we can, at a without throwing ourselves off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also we definitely wanted to make some money going forward, and so we did an Indiegogo for our relaunch, which kind of gave us a feeling of like confidence moving forward, because we had something to sit back on and like have at least something to put towards new projects when they come.
Yeah.
And that was also important to us regarding the relaunch, was that we had the means to go forward as a company.
Even getting eyes on you, I would imagine that would be helpful in getting just some attention to, this is a thing we're doing. Is that what's maybe gotten you the most eyes since relaunch, or a specific project that you think that's gotten attention?
Country House got a lot of attention when it first dropped.
Which is great. We spent 2 years on it. I would hope. I would hope that it would garner some eyes.
Right.
I mean, for the most part, I feel like the thing that's gotten us attention is just the fact that we keep going. And I think there were a lot of people when we first relaunched that were kind of like, oh, they're doing the Blackwolves thing again. It'll be gone by the end of the month. And then it wasn't. And we just kept dropping new videos and new content. And
It's pretty insane to believe that we've been dropping nonstop since September. I've this is the first time I've really thought about that it's like we've been dropping almost every single day a week, like for months straight,
Are you planning on going through with this? Like, just keep dropping for the rest of the days, or are you running out soon? Like, what's... No?
we have a couple projects in development that we're talking to other collective members about. We have some projects that we're working on. We have projects that we're partnered with other companies for. The real idea for the first couple months was, let's make a bunch of short form content so that during the time that we're doing like weekly drops, we can spend the rest of our time focusing on bigger projects that will be able to kind of substitute for the weekly stuff that we're doing right now. A lot of the weekly stuff is still just introducing people. We're doing interviews every week to introduce the entire collective, and we're, I think, only barely halfway done with that. We're doing acoustic covers because that's a part of our kind of collective mindset of just like loving music and loving creating that. And recommendations from collective members. It's just really a way to introduce people to who we are, so that when these bigger projects get announced, it's not, who are all these people that are working on this project? It's, oh yeah, I saw his interview and her interview, and they did an acoustic cover, and this person did this, and so I know these people and I want to watch them.
Speaking about other production companies, you guys work with a lot of other production companies, or are you more in-house? Or is it 50-50, or what's your split, kind of?
I think so far it's been mostly in-house. We've worked with them. I feel like under different circumstances we would have been much more collaborative and in the field. We're doing we're doing as much as we can, and as much as safety guidelines allow right now.
Sure.
I think I speak for all of us when I say like we would love to like work with like whatever production companies can come our way. If our vibes match, if our goals match, then why not?
just did our first official partnership with Hellhound Pictures. They reached out to us to shoot a short for them, and that was a really great process. So we definitely love working with other groups, and I think we all recognize that it's difficult to make anything by yourself, even if we are capable of like creating shorts and creating web series. It's definitely a lot more helpful when we have a second team. To be able to go into this particular project and just do the camera work and like be able to hand it off to somebody else is definitely a different experience, because we're so used to
Wearing all the hats.
the whole thing, we shoot the whole thing, we edit the whole thing, we release the whole thing. So it's actually kind of nice to pass something off for once.
All the hats thing must be stressful at times.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
How many times have you guys been up till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning since the relaunch working on stuff?
Literally, first thought is filming Country House. Like we like wrap up at 4 a.m. and then make some like mac and cheese and dino nuggets because we didn't have dinner. Like, talk about dedicated to the craft.
Country House was a 3-day shoot that should have been like 5 or 6 days, but we just budget time, we didn't have any of it. So the final day of shooting Country House, we shot the last shot right as the sun came up. Like, literally,
Nice.
Jeremy called cut, and the sun came up. And we went, well, I'm glad we got that shot, because that would suck.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I know those.
Yeah. But
Um,
since the relaunch, I feel like it's less been like really late nights and more of just like always being on the clock. And like you never know when you're gonna need to like punch in real quick.
Yeah, it's like I look at my calendar and it's like every day I'm doing something. And it's like it may not be like me personally, but it's like me, you know, us being Blackwolves and like together. It's like there's always going to be some point where it's like I am working a little bit every single day.
I think a lot of that also comes from the fact that the three of us all really respect each other. And so there's never a piece of content that gets released without the go-ahead from all three of us. So a lot of times one person will be finishing something and texting the other two saying, hey, this has to go up in 2 hours. Can you guys just approve it real quick just so we can like check it off the list? Which I think just comes from the fact that nobody wants to be the first person that releases something and then has someone else come in and be like, I didn't approve that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that happened to me with a thumbnail the other day.
Where we were like, oh, no, wait, we've got to fix this. Let's fix this real quick.
But you guys seem to vibe well together. I mean, you guys have had that history at least.
Yeah.
I want to know the tea, the juice. Like, has there been times where there's been like almost friendship ending arguments or like on set yelling and it's like, no, I won't do this.
I don't think stuff like that has ever happened while we've like been on set. Like it might have been like I know like I've had like the one time I've had like a blowout argument with Logan. It was like we came back together a couple days later and it was just like, this is why I'm mad at you. And it's like, well, this is why I'm mad at you. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, are we friends? Like, yeah, we're fine. And like, I think there was one time me and Jacob got into a little bit of in a tiff on Country House, and he was like, I forgot, I don't remember what I said, but it was a long day of shoot, you know, and Jacob was just like stop talking down on me like that, and I was like, immediately I was just like, I'm sorry, like, not what I mean to do, you know, like it's like you said, like we really respect each other, where it's like if we have a problem with one another, it's best to just talk it over and squash it right away, because if that thing festers and lingers, it's not going to be pretty for anyone involved. And I would rather not lose this 7-8 year friendship over like some stupid argument, you know?
There have definitely been times that like one of us has had to walk away and like scream and then like come back. When like just everything goes wrong and you're kind of like, there was one day on Country House that Jacob and I were just driving because we had to pick something up, and I was on the way back, and I got a phone call about something going wrong, and I just hung up the phone, and I just, like, I screamed. And I was just screaming as I drove this car, and Jacob was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. Let's finish this, please." But it happens. I feel like in every group, there's always going to be some form of tension when things don't go exactly the way they're supposed to, but the important part is that there's never been a situation where the art has gotten in the way of our friendships. At the end of every process, we're always like, we're best friends first, before we're anything else.
Nice. So, what does the future hold for you guys? Like I know that sounds like a very, like, stupid question, but, like, let me rephrase it a bit. Like, what do you want the future to hold? Like, where for you guys is Blackwolves? Where is the collective going? Where are you three as artists going? And like, where are you guys individually going, where that might intersect or diverge? Or, like, what is the dream? Like, why do this? Why create Blackwolves? And why do it the way that you guys have?
I feel like you two being the original founders, I kind of want to leave this question up to you, because you two have, like,
pushes it away.
I mean, I guess for me personally, kind of having a couple things on my plate, having to do with art. I see Blackwolves as a place, like, where I can keep coming back to for more, like, beautifully collaborated art. And I hope, I want more shorts, more features, TV shows, web series, directing music videos, like photo shoots, like nothing. I don't want anything to be off the table for us. I want someone to be like, I have an idea, and us to be like, yeah, we got the team, we got the minds, we got the budget to do it. Say, like, rules of improv, just, say yes.
For me, the goal is that we are credible, that we are self-sustainable, that we have a space. Like, I'm imagining, like, studio spaces for all sorts of artists, whether it be, like, if you're trying to do some, like, a big warehouse. Picture a big warehouse, whether it's, like, visual art, film, theater, music recording, rehearsing. Like, I'm picturing, like, an entertainment hub where everyone can come to collaborate and get their stuff done, do their creative work, and go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, for me, like, surface level, it's just create more. We have, like, 7 projects right now that are kind of circling, and so to be able to execute on all of them would be great, and then execute on projects in the future. But I think under all of that is, I want us to be the place that I wanted when I was in high school. A place where, like, as a dedicated artist and as someone who wants to create, we can offer people those opportunities. I've seen so many people through this industry that I think are remarkably talented that just never got their break. Everyone always talks about, like, you're just waiting on your big break, and, like, that is not a thing that happens for a lot of artists. There's a lot of artists that, like, work for years on Broadway or in film that you just don't know because they're just working actors, and I would love to be the place that gives those people opportunities and the space to create the art that they want to create, because I feel like this industry can sometimes be really hard with that. It can be difficult to until you have a name, it's difficult to get anything made, but you can't get a name without getting something made. So,
and of course, a little profit wouldn't hurt.
Maybe not be the starving artist anymore. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we'd like to be some artists with some full bellies, and we'd also like to be able to supply that to our collective members as well. We're all kind of, working for free right now, and we hope to get to a point where we can say, hey, we're gonna pay you this living wage per hour, and you can you don't have to worry about whatever you're worrying about, that it's like, you work with us, we got you.
9-hour shift at one restaurant to go to a 9-hour shift at another restaurant so you can come to rehearsal tomorrow. It's like, we would love to be able to look at artists and do what I personally think should happen kind of around the world and just say, oh, you're an artist? Cool, that's your job now. We're gonna pay you to be an artist and to create. And if you want to use our space, come on in. If you need our computers or our programming or anything like that, we have it all available to you. But you are an artist that we respect, that we think deserves to be a part of this industry. This is your base wage just for the fact that you're with us.
I love that. I think that's a noble and honest and heartwarming thing to aspire to. I think I speak for Justin and myself when I say that is something that I think we should all strive for. I'm a little taken back. Like, that was very beautiful. Logan, why is it that you always make me cry? Like, your speeches, like, always get me every single time.
Yeah. It's like I'm getting flashbacks to, like, whenever we put on a show and Logan comes on in front of the cast. He's like, all right, I'm going to make my sappy speech. You all know what's about to happen.
Yeah, I had a...
Then 5 minutes later, everyone on the floor in tears. Like, that's...
Actually, I had a tradition where I would write a speech the night before opening, just of like, alright, how do I make these people cry? How am I gonna do it? And it's just...
Well, now you've gone to evil, Logan. Like, that's... to my eyes. Now you're evil. But with that, thank you guys for coming on and being amazing and being good people and people that I hope and that I know that I can call friends. Why don't you guys plug your stuff, plug your work, plug your social, plug Blackwolves? Go ahead. I'll eat my chips. Give me some. Let me get my chips.
We are Blackwolves Productions. You can find us at our website, www.blackwolvesproductions.com. We've got an Instagram, a YouTube, a Facebook. We're pretty easy to spot. Our personal pages are connected, but mine is at Logan Riley Bruner for pretty much anything.
Mine is
at Jacob.
at Jacob Wade, but with a 0 instead of the O because it was taken.
Yeah, someday we'll get it back. And my Instagram is at BeFreeNB. And that's mostly where you'll find my music stuff, crossed with my personal stuff.
Go
Mostly
get
music stuff.
the new Neon Burgundy album, The Perfect Shade or Lack Thereof.
That's right. Stream it everywhere. Apple Music, SoundCloud, Tidal, Deezer, Napster. It's like literally everywhere. I don't know.
Any other shorts, web series that you guys want to, or content that you guys are doing that you want people to go see right now?
Check out Hellhound Pictures for the next short that we're doing.
Yep.
Check out our series on IGTV and YouTube.
Yes. We've got a bunch of playlists over on our YouTube. We've got some playlists on our IGTV. There's a bunch of content there. We did a web series a little while ago that kind of is there. It's called Tucci and Jones. We put a lot of work into it. It's got, I think, 5 or 6 collective members in it. So we're very...
It's got a sick opening intro written by me.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's the best.
On the spot, we texted Jeremy and went, hey, can you write us a theme?
Oh no, it wasn't on the spot. We were on set, and I had an idea for, like, I heard the drums, I felt those 90s hip hop aesthetics, and I downloaded GarageBand so fast, and I made the beat on the spot because I was like, if I forget this, I'm gonna be so incredibly mad at myself later on. But yeah, and also follow Capgun because hopefully we'll be working with them.
I can't wait to work with you guys more in the future. Justin, any last words before I cut it?
Gosh, I'm just so excited to see what Blackwolves has to offer. Do you you want to give any hints at what's to come?
Hints at what's to come. Well, there's a short that I worked on that we might be producing as a feature. So we'll see what happens with that. If you're into being a nerd and Dungeons and Dragons, there might be something related to that. And if you've seen any of the 6 trailers for Spotlight on our channel, we're hoping to do some more with that in the future. So that's really where my plugs go of like what's coming next.
So everyone has a lot to look forward to then.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary of what's coming up.
Well, Blackwolves, keep on howling. I had to. I'm sorry, I had to. You're like, oh, I like Logan's like, I know Cameron, I knew he was gonna do it. Jake was like, that was cringe. And Jeremy's like,
They would know that was
It's like I should have seen it coming.
Keep on doing your thing. I love watching you guys. Yeah. As for people watching, Justin and I will see you in the next podcast episode, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys.
So long.
Woo!
Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you again super soon.